City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! That is one Derby diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's must be.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, episode 14. It should be a short one today. No hour and hour 40 plus one this time. Gonna talk about a reoccurring theme that continues to pop up in our conversations of the importance of captains and leaders within the Premier League. And then we'll just talk about the biggest game this weekend, which is Manchester City versus Spurs. Mila has been dying to talk about this conversation, and we all have, but this is definitely Mila's segment. So I will give the mic to Mila here to talk about the importance of captains.
Lads, let's start with what you guys think a captain should be like, and then we can go from there.
I'll start because it's not too much for me. I can sum it up pretty quickly. It should be an extension of the manager and what they're asking of their players, to be able to do the little things. Just from experience, like a Thiago Silva, right? Like, he will relay a message. He understands the game. So to be able to essentially translate what the manager's thinking, and also to be an embodiment of the club, understand how important the badge is, having those common understandings, and then being able to relay the message, essentially, in simple terms.
I think that was well put, Dylan.
Yeah, I honestly have more thoughts on like leadership and going past captains, but I guess the captain should represent the club at its highest form, right? Mm-hmm. When you think of a specific team, the first person that should come to mind should always be the captain. At least that's my opinion. Both on the pitch and off the pitch, they should represent the best qualities of the club, and like Grant said, like the extension of the club, because that's what they are. They're the spokesperson. They're the only other person that talks to the media regularly. If any player gets scrutinized, it should be them, from a match week to match week basis, just because they're, like Grant was saying, they're the extension of the manager. They're the on-field manager, and they are supposed to put people in line. So I think that for a captain, you need someone who's strong, maybe even strong-headed to a certain extent, a little delusional, and can stick up for both the manager and the club and his teammates. Those are probably the qualities I want to see.
I think you guys are on the right track. Or I think we're all on the right track.
Enlighten us more.
No, I don't think I have anything crazy to add. I think I agree with that. I do think that there's just a lot that goes into being a captain, though. Some of these guys are going to not lead necessarily in like a natural form of leadership that we're all used to. It's going to be more so with their play. They're probably like the best guys on the pitch type of guys. What come to mind for me is like a KDB. He is one of our leaders. He gets the armband occasionally, but it's not like he's screaming at these guys and getting them ready to die for the badge. He's just going out there playing 120% and trying to do stuff with his feet and his skills. And I think Vardy's kind of a guy like that. I can't see him being that guy, especially as a striker, just lead from the front, other than with the way he plays. He's experienced in the Premier League, so that definitely helps. And I do think experience is a big one that goes into this. You can totally embody the club, but if you've played 20 games your entire career, like what do you have to say? Do people really respect your leadership in that sense? So I think leadership has to be earned in a way. Yeah,
it kind of sounds like you're not alluding to it, but a similar situation where you're saying like an embodiment of the club, like Reece James, when he got the captaincy last year, I was like, oh, fantastic. Like, I thought it was well-deserved. Thiago Silva, obviously, is a natural choice, but doesn't speak the best English, and also it's Thiago Silva, right?
Well, that's the thing with someone like that. He's so intelligent and he knows the sport. Like, he has to be the captain, and he was so experienced. That's where that experience comes.
Well, one of many things I didn't like about Pochettino, but he kind of what he said about it, and honestly, to an extent, I kind of agreed. He doesn't need the armband. Like, that's everyone knows who Thiago Silva is.
No, of course,
Especially in that
yeah.
team where the next
But
oldest guy
also, it's
was
a little bit
Sterling.
of a respect thing to them.
For sure, but I think Thiago Silva understood it. He didn't give a leader. He is the epitome of a leader. But Reece James, it makes sense. Young, talented, embodies the club. Been here since he was 6. It's like perfect. Can't stay on the field. It's heartbreaking, and it's brutal. It's unlucky, whatever you want to call it. But Maresca said it like right before he came back to fitness. He needs to be a better leader, and it starts with him being on the pitch. And I think it was more of a call to action than like an attack publicly on his captain. I think the former makes much more sense. But we have a team, and I guess we could probably leave this for later. Kind of want to finish where we were to start, but we have a team with a void in terms of leadership. These guys aren't naturally, they shouldn't be leaders right now. They're young. They're still trying to find their footing. They're not at their best. But yeah, I think we can. I'll let you finish your thoughts and kind of steer us here. But yeah, it's just another situation where you do need a leader, and you could tell we missed Thiago Silva. But
well, I don't think you're totally off track with where we're going. So I think we could just.
I don't want to jump the gun.
No, I think you're good though. I think we said what we kind of want out of our captains, but I think the next thing to talk about would be like the state of captains in the Premier League. So I don't think that Chelsea's issue is a Chelsea issue alone. It's definitely a league-wide issue. If we can kind of blend it in what we're going to talk about after, but if you just look at the players in the past, the captains of the past, and you look at the captains across the league now, there's a huge discrepancy. It's not the same. There's clearly a different thought process behind choosing a captain. A little more PR, like a spokesperson, like you guys were saying. A bit. There's going to be guys that come in and do what a natural captain should do, but right now it doesn't feel like that to me.
It's interesting. When it comes to sports, I think the idea of leadership falls normally onto one person. And we're revolving the conversation about captains because in soccer there's only one, right? But I think every
like 1
good
to 2. Yeah.
Right, 1 to 2 that
Yes.
will swap out regularly, and we always point at one individual. But I think that and this is more of like a broader sports thing, but there's so many leaders that are involved in good teams, right? Like, while there's a captain on the field, which, there's a variety of different ways that you can put them into that role, there's also like the leaders off the field. I think that if we look back at the teams that were really good in the past, like even looking at just these recent City teams, like a guy like Scott Carson, like that, I'm getting his first name right. It is Scott, right?
Absolutely right.
Okay. Like a player like that is integral to the organization as a whole, right? Like not necessarily if he's going to be playing or not, but he's a locker room guy, right? Like if tensions are high,
that's the difference in my eyes, though. Is like he's more. I wouldn't consider him like a leadership guy, but he's more of a locker room presence.
But that's what you need, right? It's like a locker room leader, and in certain senses, this is I think honestly one of the main differences between, and we've had this conversation about Chelsea, is they don't have that. They're missing a couple of like just fundamentally.
We have a third
key...
string English keeper in the 30s. We respect that.
No. But sorry. It's just like the general concept. Like I know that Evans is looked at as a poor United figure, but as a locker room and a leader and a guy who's been there before, like that's what I'm saying. Like he has been good on the pitch, but even if you were to take him out, right? Like just take the roots of that player. Not integral to the way that the system's going to be run, and it probably shouldn't be, but those guys are important. And I think to your point about Vardy, like there's also like a social aspect too, right? Like he's the guy who cracks the jokes and is talking about Red Bull all the time, and he's making everyone laugh because look, those guys eat, sleep, and shit soccer all the fucking time. So then like having to go and be professional 24/7 it's not healthy. Like I couldn't imagine doing my job 24/8 and being a happy human being. So
yeah,
I think that that might be another component to being a good captain, is getting the best out of being a good friend as well as being a good teammate.
Yeah, you
But,
gotta know what to say, when to say it, a lot of those things.
Not the good friend argument.
Nah. No. I feel like I know. I always think back to my team where it's just like last year our captain was never fit, so it was mainly like Gallagher, fucking Chilwell wearing the armband. You need a consistent figurehead. You need to know what direction your team's moving to. I think our situation's obviously so different, but you need to have that state. You need to have something stable, right? And I think it's kind of getting there. But again, Conference League, bro, I've seen DeSassi wear the armband. You know what I mean? Like, I like DeSassi. He's cool and all, but, like, is he the Chelsea captain? You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Just kind of anyone can rock it, right? But I know...
It's interim captain.
Right.
It's like, hey, you know what? Today we're going to spin a wheel and we're going to give it to whoever.
To be fair to DeSassi, like, there's a few games I could think of from last year, like City away. Like, that was a monstrous defensive performance. He can lead on the field. Like, he has leadership qualities.
But he needs to do that consistently.
My point
for him to be that type of captain.
Oh, what I was going to say, if you asked him, hey, do you think you would be the captain at Chelsea? He'd probably said, fuck no. Like, he has no business being the Chelsea captain. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean he's not a good leader. You need everyone's got to be a good leader at some point, but it's just a revolving door. I think it's getting better. It's mainly like Enzo, Caicedo, Colwell, who I think's really kind of growing into that. He's still super young. The whole team is, for fuck's sake. But I think seeing that sort of consistency and knowing, like, I guess having that leadership group, I think City's kind of had that where it'd be like Gundo, Diaz, De Bruyne, and Walker. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like a committee.
We have the group,
right?
But
yeah,
the main captain
so
of
you need
Walker
a leadership group, I guess.
Something that needs to be discussed.
Consistent. It's all consistency.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker, bro. Yeah, but
like
you said, people lead in different ways, though. I like that too. It's a good point.
I was gonna say I think we should segue into like what the captains look like right now and the leaders around the league. Like, look, Walker is not. I couldn't imagine
everything you guys
said.
I was smashing my head into the table because everything you guys said that a captain should be, he is the complete opposite in my eyes. Other than being a good friend, he's a good friend. The guys love him, and that's probably why he's the captain.
When he said Grealish shouldn't have been invited to the Euros. I didn't think that. Dude,
that's like what the hell.
Him. You know what I mean? That's not
also like the shenanigans off the pitch. Like, if anyone should be our captain, Dylan's point of the captain should be a manager on the pitch justifies Rodri being our captain when he is on the pitch.
Hey, look, man, my club doesn't have a cockshower at bars going up to women, you know, as my figurehead. Like, that's like, but it's a silly point, but it's the point. Like, if somebody was like, you know what, I wonder what City's captain's doing this weekend, and it was just this fucking footage.
Exactly. If like you're saying, like they need to embody the club, like that does not embody.
At least he didn't have two kids with another woman that he's not married to, because that would be detrimental to his character.
That would be really strange, huh? Oh, yeah.
I would look at someone a different type of way if they did something like that, just off principle. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty vile thing to do to somebody, right? To the mother of your kids.
But the thing is, he got
reelected. I would
look
at that man differently. And
they got re-voted as the captain.
He was
that. All this bullshit that we're talking about happened his last captaincy last year.
All happened under.
And now he's back again.
Notice.
I wonder if he literally.
Ever.
He must spend every living second there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to think about that. That's got to be awful.
Gundo left, so I get him kind of not being the captain right away, but like...
No.
Ruben Diaz?
We have Ruben Diaz.
Yeah.
He, like, in the terms of embodying what a leader should be on and off the pitch, he is that guy.
Barclays.
Yeah.
And he's a scary defender when he's fucking
That's
fit.
A captain to me. Like, if I'm thinking of a captain, like, if I had to say, like, who's City's captain? Oh, Diaz.
Diaz or Rodri? In my opinion,
Rodri
it has to be one of the two.
De Bruyne too, like you said, and I think we have the.
He's a leader. He's not a captain though. Like,
he's a good vice captain, second or third. Like, I don't mind him wearing the armband. That's how I kind of see Caicedo.
But also, when he's frustrated, that's when it goes out the window. Yeah.
Well, no, Caicedo's kind of like that because he's worn the armband for us a few times now. He's not Conte. No one can ever be Conte, but it's the way he nonstop is running for 90 minutes. Just doing everything in the midfield, like, just the desire alone, it's like, oh, I need to do that too. Leading by example, proper captain.
Yeah, and I do think in situations like, I think captains need to be mentally strong. If your team goes down, you have to be able to bring them back up, bring their heads up.
Like when Zinchenko did the huddles.
Yeah, like that's one thing. He's never going to be a captain, but like I don't know, Walker does it. He's not bad with that.
I mean, he
but
knows what
also
it
a lot
means.
of the fucking time it's his fault. So it's really counterproductive. It's really frustrating. So it's like shut up. Like you can't do that. But like I think Diaz is just one of those guys. He just gets them pumped.
Commands
Fucking
respect.
one block is like a goal. They go crazy back there. That's what I love a lot about our defense. But
Would you
around
slap
the
would you
league,
slap
other
the armband on
ways,
Ederson?
It's too crazy.
He is too crazy, dude. He is too crazy. Let me ask. Let me pose a couple of captains, and let's discuss if we think they're captain material. Because there's a couple guys that I was thinking
Let's
about.
talk about your
this
team.
list.
Let's start with your team.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bruno. I think Bruno's a good captain, and I know that he gets a lot of flack for him not being a good captain because people don't like the way that he acts. In terms of just his overall like reactions on the field, and everyone thinks that he's a rat. But I think that look, United's the biggest club in the world, man. Like
he's just one of the guys that leads by example, in my opinion. Like when he gets frustrated like that, it's not. It allows
guard. He's an enabler for a guy like Garnacho who needs some structure coming up in the scene. And you've got your captain doing all this. This is devil's advocate, by the way. This isn't how I feel. I've heard this as the argument for why he's not a good captain. Is like you're enabling that type of behavior almost.
Look, Garnacho's just a different thing because he's so young, right?
Yeah, sure. I shouldn't have just name dropped him as an example.
No. It's a good example. My counterpoint would be like, I want someone who gives a fuck, right? Like,
no, definitely. Like he'll die for the badge, but like it also needs to be with these young guys. He needs to be like a role model to them and how they should like act, and like also the keeping your head up type of thing. If this guy's getting frustrated when you guys are 2-0 down, then like it's like. I don't know.
I don't ever see him get angry at like most of the time. It's not at other individuals. I know that like
no. I'm not saying like he's blaming other people, but if he just puts it's body language type of thing, head down type of thing. But then he'll come back and he'll whip a cross in that's perfect and like he'll
Dylan's
make
point,
a
he
chance
definitely
out
cares. He definitely cares.
No, I agree. I agree. I think he's just more so that KDB type of leader rather than that natural type of leader that we were talking about earlier.
A quick question. I don't
think he's a bad captain, though.
Bounce on it, Dylan. Oh, that was crazy. Pause. Like Roy Keane, for example, like he's like publicly said, like I don't think this guy's captain material at United, and there's so many points to go off of there, like different era, all that stuff. But like, does that hold any weight for you, and like, why do you disagree? I guess.
I think Roy Keane, look, he's probably one of the greatest captains to ever grace the sport. Right. Now, with that being said, he also fucking kicked a dude in the stands, right? Like, if we're talking about insane human beings, like, he's on the top of the list. And look, I think that the Bruno stuff is also just like it's a tough one for me because if it's not Bruno, who else are you going to give it to?
Well, at this current point, like you had Maguire be the guy before. Like I don't think that
he wasn't strong enough mentally to make it work.
No,
right?
He's doing great now. I think he's doing great. I think most United fans they fuck with Harry again because he comes in and does the job.
He still needs to go.
Who would? Yeah, to your point, like who would have it?
Like what, you're not
gonna give it to someone experienced. It'd have to be like an Eriksen or a Casemiro. I don't think either of them are gonna get it.
We talk about craziness, like that's Casemiro, that's Licha, that's Onana. So it can't be any of them.
Yeah, Onana's got to be the captain. I love that shout.
It's too nuts, right? Like, I don't know. Like I don't think there's also the only thing that he would have that might be better is just like no, dude, he's too crazy.
No, he can handle the media.
Bruno definitely has to be your guys' captain. Right?
I love the way
there's
no
doubt about it. But I do think
I love the way he handles.
It's a serious difference between what we're used to in the Prem and what we have now. It just goes to what we were saying about the whole league, I think.
If we were going to rank captains on like a lettering scale, like Bruno's a B to me. No, I don't think he's like a high B or a low B. He's just a B. Like I think that he's definitely better than I think half of them because I don't think that half of the captains that are currently in the Premier League could even scratch what it's like with the scrutiny of United.
It's different. It's totally
it just
different.
Is. It just is, and like he actually speaks to the media really well, and I think that like Mila said, he just performs right. Like he's just United's best player every year. like like most of the time. It's just what it is. So that one is like a not a sore subject for me. I just think it's silly when people are
Drawn
like,
out.
"Well, he shouldn't be captain." It's like who you put in there instead.
No, I do think he should definitely be.
Yeah,
as
whether or not
captain,
he's a good
but I do
captain,
think
he's definitely
it's-
the captain.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many other
We talked
who you
about-
could bring in that would be.
Yeah, United's just so
Better.
I
different.
know it's just
United,
like compared
the
to like
United
your old
captain is so
captains, you
different.
know. Like we were
Because they're
talking,
not
like
the same team.
Vidic is who comes to mind for me. Like that's a totally different player, but
To me, it's just a different team.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
of
that
course.
reflects.
That's
Like Bruno's
just,
Bruno's a B captain, and United are in the state that they're at, where they're winning a few trophies here and there. They're still successful, relatively speaking, but they're not what United used to be. And then we look at the golden era; they had A tier captains, S tier captains. So I think it's just
It's a telling at the
to where
time.
they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a
I
testament to
think
where they
that's
are.
fair.
The one player that I could see if Bruno was to leave at some point or like take over is De Ligt. I think that that's a guy that not only leads by example, but he's also just a calm-headed figure in terms of just where his presence is on the
that's
field.
a good call. I could
He's-
totally see him
he's
getting
captain
it
for Ajax,
before
I
Bruno
think.
leaves.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Honestly,
captain for Ajax. He's been around the block, if that makes sense, in a non, in not a bad way. I think that's taken in a lot of like in the discussion of him, it's taken in a bad way. That's not a bad quality to have. Like he's seen it all at this point in terms of like
Yeah, there's context.
different
There's a little more
systems. So I think he's a good. I think he might be the next United captain if I was to.
He's
pick one
also
right now.
played under a different coach, like probably every year of his career, if I had to guess. So, yeah, so he's a good player. He's definitely a good player. Also,
Okay,
would be surprised if he played years.
Yeah, it's just fair enough.
Who knows? PSG.
The second one that I wanted to hit was Odegaard because this is a weird one for me. I don't
I
very
think he's-
similar to KDB
Yeah,
to me.
I think we need to be a little fair to him though, because he is a lot younger.
I think he's.
I think he's gonna need to grow into that a bit, to the natural form of leadership type of stuff. But as of right now, he's doing all the things he needs to do to lead with his game.
I think
It's-
he's top in terms of a captain too, because obviously I'd be talking to Facundo all the time about this type of stuff. But with Arsenal, that's how I get my scoop. But even just watching the games and like especially not seeing him play, that's when it was like, oh yeah, he's the
They
captain.
play different when he's on the field,
And
whether
he
he's
leads
playing good
from
or
the
bad.
front, and he leads from the front because a captain, I don't know, ideally I like a captain in defense. I just feel like it makes sense.
More
They lead the
defensive
line,
roles.
They
Yeah.
lead the line, whatever. He leads from the front. Like they press different with him in there, right? And that's a big part of their game. So I think he's a really good captain, especially for his age too, like you said.
Would he be the captain at United? Just for
If they dropped
question
him
mark.
in.
If you
How long
swapped
has he been
Bruno and
there?
him,
Or like,
if
yeah,
Like-
you swap
we're
Bruno
just-
and
if
him,
we're swapping him and Bruno's
storylines,
careers.
yes.
If Bruno's there at the same time, just curious.
yeah,
You think so?
Would be because he's their best player. He'd be their
It's
best.
hard
like-
to say, like if they're like
Yeah,
Right,
you know.
I just
don't know.
think he
It's just
would.
weird
Like,
because
I
like
don't
I
know.
think
I
that
would
the
probably-
arguments you're using for him are the same arguments I'd make for Bruno. Bruno just flares his arms around a little bit more.
well, that was one
Odegaard
of our
does the hair
points.
instead, though. Odegaard does
Yeah,
that.
he is. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he doesn't
definitely
yell at refs.
much
Charisma
yeah,
captain.
I was gonna say
Pretty
he's definitely
privileged
more
as well.
attractive than
Yeah.
Bruno.
Pretty privileged.
But no, I think he's a good captain. I was just curious to see
Yeah.
what the threshold there is in terms of
I
what
hate
we were
Arsenal,
talking
but
about.
I didn't
respect
say
Martin
Bruno's a
Odegaard.
bad captain. Yeah, I don't think either are great yet, but I don't think they're the bad options in the Prem right now.
That's
Just
fair.
I
have
think the top teams are all right. They just have had better captains.
Yeah,
that
but we
come
had
to mind.
Chilwell leading us out to cup finals. Man.
You also had like some fantastic captains
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah, and
We
now
had Company, and we had Fernandinho, and now we have Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
we got Enzo Fernandez.
Like
So
Arteta
racist.
was a great
Hey.
captain
Wee-wee
for
shower.
Arsenal. They had Patrick
Well-
Vieira. Like there's so many that come to mind.
The
I don't
crazy
know.
part about Enzo, I think he's gotten better. He still didn't speak much English.
Mm.
He spoke no English when he got here.
So
Off
Let
the
alone all
field.
the other stuff.
who's
That's
the
the
best
thing.
captain in the Prem then? I'm curious. I think there's only one answer for me, but I'm curious to see what you
Wait,
guys
I gotta
say
go
first.
back to that. I gotta go. This thing.
I
Yeah.
want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Because my first thought was Van Dijk,
That's who I think it is.
right?
Yeah.
Whether or
Yeah,
not
I think it's Van Dijk.
I think
it's a captain.
he's been there a
Like,
long
as soon as
time,
Henderson
too.
left and it was like, oh, who's their captain going to be? I didn't think twice about that. I was Van Dijk.
Extension of the club, constantly good, constantly available,
Level-headed.
level-headed, tends to back his teammates. Like, there's some aura involved with him. You know
I
what?
like
My worst
Yates
captain.
at Nottingham too, honestly.
Oh,
But he's an embodiment of the club.
the only one that I want to, because I
Experienced.
just want to spew hate for a second. I dislike John McGinn on all facets. Like, all the bad things we were talking about Bruno. Like, that's John McGinn. Let's be honest. And he's
John McGinn.
bad.
Hey.
I just want to spew
No.
some hate.
But he's
I'm
just
so
not a fan of him.
English.
I
Here's
just don't like him. I just wanted to spew some hate.
I've honestly thought about this a lot. It's going to sound really weird that, like, oh, what are you thinking about John McGinn's game for? But, like, he's not a goal scorer. He starts on the wing, but he's the captain. He's not a winger, but he wears number 7. So there's just so many thoughts running through my head. So every time I watch Villa, I always have an eye on him. What does he bring to this team? And he's a captain to me in terms of, like, I see why he's their captain. But I also like what you're saying too, where it's just like
I just don't. I don't like any part of his game. We talked about, like, he's got the rattiness.
Yeah,
He doesn't speak well. Dude, he's the only guy on there. He's one of their only guys where I look at them and I'm like, that guy's a walking red card. Like, he just, like, every 5 seconds I'm like, this guy's gonna get sent off for something.
He likes getting stuck in. Some would say.
He's very Barclays.
Yeah, no.
Just not a fan. I don't know. I just wanted to dispute hate for a second.
That's fine. No. Get it off your chest, King.
He's just up there. Him and Bowen. Fuck Bowen.
He's a good
Dylan
captain.
hates British.
No, actually.
Dylan hates the
captain,
British.
Wingers as captain is kind of weird for me. Wingers as captain is a bit weird.
It's just because he's been there a long
Mila,
time.
how'd you feel when Sterling was the captain at points? Because I know he wasn't the primary captain, but he did wear the armband. Like, did you feel a type of way about a winger being your captain?
I blocked those out of my mind.
Using that logic, I have blocked a lot of football out of my mind.
Fuck.
But yeah, winger being the captain is kind of weird.
It's just in squads right. Where there's no leader and, like, this guy has to be the captain. I get it, but when you look at the teams that we've had, there's no reason for that.
Yeah, bro. Like, I love.
And
Cole
some
Palmer.
of these teams,
he should never wear the armband. Just go do your.
But if you look at Villa, like, take a look at Villa. They have a back line that consists of mainly guys that haven't come in a while. Mings was out. I feel like Mings is normally the captain, right?
He was, but I don't think he's going to be. It's kind of going to be like a Lascelles situation.
He'll probably get it back.
Yeah.
Because I've heard they're getting rid of Carlos, possibly. So
I saw that.
It's going to be less rotation in there.
Now, Mings is a good captain, but I don't think he's your week in, week out starter if you're a Champions League team.
Could Konsa be their captain?
It's hard to say. He just always is injured. So? He doesn't develop enough.
That's my point. You don't have time. You don't have time to wait. Konsa could be a good captain.
Yeah.
What about Martinez? I know that he's a psychopath, but I kind of like it.
I'm pretty sure he's their vice captain.
Is he? Okay.
Sure he's their vice captain. Yeah.
That's the most ridiculous captain duo in the entire Prem. It's fucking hilarious.
McGinn and Martinez running players.
Martinez he's actually outside of when he's like being a goalkeeper. He's a very well spoken. He's a leader.
Way better English than John.
I lost my camera. I was gonna. The worst part is I was gonna do the Martinez glove thing.
So you ruined the joke. That's tough. Yeah. Yeah, nice, dude.
Thanks. It was a little. Oh man,
we're having a good time.
Yeah, we are.
All right, that was good captain talk. Quick chat about Tottenham City. Any final thoughts? I guess. No, we're good.
Shout out Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, Company's awesome.
That's all I got.
Okay.
So, Man City Spurs, both teams not good form.
No.
Last time out, Spurs beat them 2-1.
Okay. Let's
context. Cup game.
Care about cup talk.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Last time they beat you guys.
I know. I just said we have to throw in context.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Hey man, I'm just reading the facts here.
Yeah, man. And then there was the
They've
Bournemouth
scored 4 more goals than us in their past 5 games.
game. Top Spurs?
Yeah, that's scary.
This
We're at
game
home,
has
though.
1-1 written all over it. I don't know why. In my head,
is
it's
Van de
just got
Ven still
1-1.
hurt? Is Van de Ven still hurt?
We
That's
have to
interesting.
see. I think we have to see like who plays.
Fair enough.
Honestly,
Yeah,
especially
touche.
like look at this. Go on Football, then go look at City's injury list.
It's horrid. Theirs is also pretty shit too.
Spurs are just.
I know.
Again,
I was gonna say after you look at
was
City's,
like,
then go
my
look
only-
at
Holy
theirs.
crap.
My only thought on Spurs is just until they prove me wrong is just I have no fucking clue what team it's going to be. They can wipe the floor with City and I wouldn't be shocked. That's a lie. I'd be shocked. If they won 3-0, I'd be like, yep, understandable. And if City kick the shit out of them and Spurs don't show up, I wouldn't be shocked either. Like I don't know what we're going to get out of Spurs. I continuously have no clue. So
Foden's out?
Yeah, I agree. No, he's doubtful.
doubtful. What happened? Did he
Which
pick something up?
probably
It says
means-
not
he dropped
doubtful.
out, and yeah, he dropped out of the international.
So is that doubtful
break.
for the international
Precautionary?
play?
I think they'll probably
Precautionary.
upgrade it.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
Well,
because it's pretty
Bentancur's
early. That
suspended
game
for
is
7
a while
games.
from now.
Yeah,
Ben
maybe
Yes.
don't make racist comments towards your teammates on
Yeah,
public
that would be
forums.
really. Yeah, keep it on the bus after the Argentina game. Damn it.
Yes. But yeah, I do think I could see Grealish, Foden.
Grealish is healthy.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
thing. I really, kind of to Mila's point, the more I think about it, like, I really have no clue what's going to happen in this game until
No, it was
an hour
really
15.
like it's gonna be great. Like honestly, I don't know how we're gonna do the combined 11. I think we should
Is
not.
Yeah,
is
I have no clue who's
Pussy
playing.
gonna play?
It's a big game
I
for a kid
feel
like
like
that.
Diaz will be
I
back.
know.
Yeah, but he's
okay.
played
If
big
Diaz
games
is
already.
back, then sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to think City
I
win this
do
game.
I do like Pussy, but I think he needs to play with a Diaz or a Stones. It's not fair to throw him
You
in.
know what
It's
you
kind
just
of what we
did.
did. Yes, I know. I think it's what we did with Ake when he first came to the club. We'd throw him in with fucking Demi Chalice and be like, well, why isn't he fucking playing good? This guy sucks. It's like, come on. The guy came from Bournemouth. And
Yeah.
you're putting him next to our worst center
Hey,
back.
he came from Chelsea before.
We're talking about Demi Chalice right now.
No,
We're
you
not
said
talking-
Ake came from Bournemouth.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying he's our worst center back. I was saying
might
Demi
start.
Chalice was the worst center back.
I can see him
Ake's
starting.
Chelsea.
I don't
Pussy?
know. I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea of him
I'd
starting.
like it too.
Too big of a game. No need to put
no,
that type of pressure
this-
on him.
Spurs
For me-
aren't.
This
Spurs
guy
aren't a big
has
game.
done it. Like it's fine. It's time to put pressure
especially for
on him.
City. That's City's bogey team. It's definitely a big game.
He played Champions League minutes. Like if he's playing Champions League minutes, then it doesn't matter to me. He can
Against
start
Sporting?
any game. Dude.
the
They're a
one he
good
played?
team that hasn't
Oh,
Yeah.
lost.
100%. Oh, 100%. I agree.
Like,
I
that-
do
that's
think
big
the only
minutes.
thing that's unfair though is like if he's gonna play, he needs to play with some experience because when we're getting
It's-
battered
yeah.
like this and he's playing well, like it's not gonna feel good.
It's not fair,
gonna
yeah.
raise his confidence at all,
he doesn't need that. It's not good for the development.
regardless
I
of
agree
how
with
he
that point.
plays. But I do think there's definitely a little shining light when it comes to him.
He's a good player. I just
Oh,
don't
it's
love
so
throwing
tough.
a young guy into that situation like that. So
I don't.
volatile, right? Like if you
I
No, I
Kwanzaa,
agree.
I don't think Kwanzaa's career's over per se, but it was against Ipswich. He got dropped after the first half and literally hasn't seen the field again. So like that type of stuff, it can't feel
Okay.
great for him. You know what I mean?
Liam Delap
Totally
takes
different.
souls. Solanke
No, that
doesn't
one was
take
Hutchinson.
souls.
That one was Hutchinson.
I know.
Um, but yeah, I don't love
That's
throwing
just
young.
so
I still
tough.
think City pull it off. There's no fucking way it is.
Well, okay, it says
Surely
Diaz is a knock. So he's back late November. That could be this game, honestly.
That
It
is
just
late
means he's
November?
out. Yeah, so
If
I
if
have a feeling it'll
KDB
be.
plays,
He'll play.
I've-
He's back.
if KDB plays, then I think City win. That's.
I want to say we demolish them.
I mean, yeah,
Convincing.
Radu Dragusin, mate. Yeah.
It's not that like we're getting a bunch of people back. It's that we just came off not. We haven't lost 4 straight since
And
2006.
Pep had 2 weeks with
Pep's
those
never
motherfuckers.
lost 4 games in a row, so he's
had
pissed.
He's had international
And
break with
he
them.
just extended. So I think a lot of that uneasiness and is he staying, is he going, is
Is
going
that
to
a
be
weight
gone.
off the shoulders?
Yeah, of course. You know
Is
who your
this in
fucking
London?
manager's going to be.
or
Pep
Manchester.
extension
No,
bounce.
it's at home.
Pep
Is it
extension
Manchester?
bounce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I do think this is going to be kind of a bounce back
4-1.
game from our past run of form. That's exactly what I was thinking. A 4-1.
Oh hell yeah, I'm sticking with it.
I-
Let's go.
Oh, keep kicking my fucking
Dylan.
shit. Sorry. Apologies, guys. This has been a bad one. It'll eventually kick back in here. You guys talk until it kicks back in.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I just think, like you said, Mila, like this has been marinating as well. That's what I think really is the kicker for me. It's like Pep's been sitting there with the rest of them who aren't with the internationals. That dude's a sick man. Like
he's not
letting
sitting with
them
them.
hear it, bro. Like
he went on vacation to go cool off.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, he's gonna come back with some fucking heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, they know.
I think
the
people
team
like
understands
Holland,
this is serious, and they got to lock the fuck
Holland
in. And I think it's time.
He's gonna have this time to get away from City. He's doing great things with Norway. He's gonna come back. Hopefully, gonna see at least 2 goals against Spurs.
We'll be there.
Midfield, though, I think that's what we're gonna talk about.
I was gonna say Kurt with Kulusevski in the midfield, like that's I don't like that's really where this game's gonna be won and lost, right? Like tactically.
I think we're fucked in that sense. I think we're gonna have to pray our defense holds on and that Kyle Walker doesn't touch the pitch.
It's so interesting
because what I would have done is
go ahead.
I would have just had O'Reilly in this game, but to Grant's point, it's a big game. I don't mind throwing kids into big games, but you can't throw them into the deep end when they haven't touched the water yet, you know?
Yep, there you go.
So it's like,
analogy.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's like this guy should have been worked in a couple games ago, not starting even. You just make his couple minutes in, and then when it comes to something like this, where we're going to need a little more of a dynamic physical presence in the midfield, a young guy that's ready to die for the badge would be my preferred choice. Kova and Gundo, I feel like that's going to cause some issues.
Don't have the
and if we have a Simpson Pussy behind them, he's going to take the fucking blame.
Yep. Yeah, you need legs. You need legs.
It's the story of our season.
In there? Can you throw
You
Nunez
can
in
if you want to lose the ball a lot in the
there
midfield, but that's it's.
I don't know, like with Kova's ball retention, like they're like surely
It's not that he's. None of them are bad players. It's together they don't
harmony.
have what it. Yeah, they play well together. They just can't do the physical stuff because they're so old.
That's what I'm saying. You need Nunez's legs, right? But then how do you not lose the ball as much with him?
Okay, yeah. So like that's the tough thing. Like if Nunez is the 6, you have him turning as that first guy and connect the play, and like that's not what you want. He's gonna lose the ball. We watched him the other week almost give away a goal by losing the ball.
Because he's really good carrying the ball.
Yeah.
Really good carrying.
In the turn and like in the middle of the pitch, yeah, of course. Kova's very good at that stuff.
Very good in the tight spaces.
But Kova's recovery speed, like Nunez.
If Kova had like a shot on him, bro, he'd be messy. That should have been my hot take. The amount of runs I saw this dude make, where I'm like, dude, get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball. Dude, get rid of the ball. And then like he's just through 6 people. I'm like, damn. But you just know that dude can't shoot.
This is I don't see City blowing them out. I think that this is a weird tactical game, and Spurs just have City's number for whatever reason. I think it's going to be closer than it's going to be.
They don't have Van de Ven.
Well, they don't have Romero either.
Or is he suspended? Injury, so we'll see. But a toe injury against
Romero
Erling
got hurt
Haaland.
International break, I believe.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
I don't know. I just this is a weird. I think that Ange's tactical presence against the City team exploits a lot of weaknesses, but it also plays to City's strengths, which makes this just a weird game altogether to me. Like
my counter,
their ability to hit on the counter will be something to look at. I think if Walker plays, Son is going to have a field day. That would be my biggest concern as a City fan. If Son plays and Walker plays, dude, that game could get messy.
I think he'll have a field day on Rico too, though.
At least I feel better with Rico in. Like,
yeah, I think he'll put
like especially if the
Rico's overworked is the thing.
Yeah, but
if he was fully fit, I'd be totally fine. But this guy's being worked in the ground. He's playing international too.
But if Diaz and Pussy is the back two, then
that's true.
Do you feel? I mean, I'd feel a lot better if it was Rico, those two, and then Gavardio. I think Gavardio has to be on the left. I hate seeing him in a central position. He's just so good going forward,
which is crazy because when they signed him, they signed a center back. And he got that good in a year.
Yes and no.
Leipzig, no, they play 4-2-2.
Yeah, but we had Ake at the left back, so I think in our minds we were signing a left back. Yeah,
but I see what you're saying.
Vardiol was a center back.
Not this
yes.
Not this
crazy.
Version. Yeah,
and now we're saying, fuck, bro, you can't put him as center back. It takes everything else away. That's crazy.
The biggest addition
if our team was fit, if our team was fit, totally. One of fucking our midfielders drop in for him when he wants to go up. It's fine, but we're not fit.
Yeah, knock on wood. I cannot believe we haven't had that many injuries this year.
All right, you had it last year. It's a thing of rotation.
Exactly. You guys have a big enough squad now.
The past 2 years.
Yeah.
And you guys have the squad now, and that looks like a brilliant move.
Poch making him run all over the place, killing everybody in our fucking
team. That's a lot of it.
It's fully him. Of course it's him. We haven't had any injuries this year, bro. Oh, man. Fuck that guy while we're at it.
The biggest addition by subtraction is going to be the Gundo for KDB swap, right? Like, assuming the Foden plays.
I think KDB's playing 8?
No, he's got to play.
It's not going to be Gundo.
You can't play KDB, Kova, Foden. It's never going to work.
Yeah, you have no defensive.
Rico slides in there, right? Though, like, if you were going to play the back 3.
Yeah. Well, that means then, because they defend in a 4-4-2, no? City?
Yeah, but we don't.
But
we don't concede goals when we're defending. We concede goals on the counter. So you have to think about it how we're playing on offense.
Yeah, you can't have De Bruyne or Foden as that double pivot.
I don't mind.
You know what I mean?
KDB playing the 8 and playing deeper balls to Haaland and the wingers, but I think if you were going to do that, you'd have to have someone with a little more legs to help him out. If we don't want him to get hurt, because I know KDB will do the running and he can do the running until his fucking hamstring goes out.
Does it have to be Walker then? Like if KDB, if you're playing it that way, right? Like the way I was saying, like Foden and KDB, does it have to be Walker? Well, unless you have another center back that's ready.
Like to your point, it has to be Rico, unless Stone's playing.
Oh, sorry. It would I don't know how the formation would look, but Rico essentially is like the 8 in that sense, or the 6.
Do you think Rico play in the midfield? Like actually play in the midfield?
I don't know how that would look on
another
formation.
Shout, Rico in as a 6,
I'm thinking about the way that they played against Sporting. Like now, replace Gundo with. The Sporting thing's difficult.
Who's in their midfield?
They were a better team.
You can't have Foden and De Bruyne. You can't do the.
I don't know if Sarr's hurt or not.
Yeah,
but
honestly, we could do that. We could do that. I don't think we'd get physically, like strength wise. I don't think that's going to be a big factor in this game. So I think we could run a little bit of a more aggressive midfield. I could see Bernardo in there.
I would love to see Stones and Rico in a pivot at some.
That would be insane.
As the center back moving forward?
Bro, yeah, I said it a while ago, like when he first got hurt, Rodri. Like to me, like obviously, like there's lots of Pep knows what he's doing. I don't. Like
we're never saying Pep do this. It's just what we think would work.
The first thought to mind, like it's just like that would be a nice harmony in the middle. How you get to that point in terms of who's inverting, who starts where, like that's a whole other issue that I can't fix. That's how Pep.
I could definitely see that.
You can have Stones start as the 6, and you can have Rico inverting. You can have Stones invert from center back. There's that's what Pep is. He's the guy to figure it all out. But to me,
I was going to say that's the only issue.
Perfect harmony.
I just don't know how that would. That's a lot of move. That's a lot of movement.
It's one guy's out of position, like strictly, like very out of position, and then like the other guys playing the role that they've adapted to.
I actually have no idea.
Inverting Stones from center back, Rico's starting as a 6, and if you invert Rico from right back, then Stone starts as a 6. So yeah, one of them's not starting in their natural position, so it's a huge thing to risk. But
my guess,
that's what I
think my guess for the game. Kova, Bernardo, KDB.
Kova, Bernardo. Yeah. I kind of forgot about Bernardo.
I know, we didn't talk about him at all.
Yeah, he's been He's
been forced out wide in weird spots.
I hate him on the right wing. Especially with this team. It's just like
it did
younger Bernardo Silva. Younger Bernardo Silva, yes, it'll work because he's got a little more acceleration, that urge to go dribble and take on a couple guys. But right now, it's not there anymore. So
I did actually watch the Madrid City 4-0. That spanking y'all did on them that popped
Dude,
up recently, and I watched it.
He was
Bernardo's
phenomenal.
moving differently. Like
I know, bro.
He's
He also
older,
hates
like
Madrid.
yeah.
He does hate Madrid.
He's older, but now he's just older. He's a different player, to your point, and that stuff happens pretty quickly. It happens before you even notice.
It's not
it,
like it's not like he's
player.
unbearably slow. It's the
No,
fact that
it's
he was just
he's not
never really
capable
that
of doing
quick.
that job. He
And
can't do that job at
it's
this
calmed
point.
down a little bit, and now it's not as what we need. So it's
he just can't do that job at this stage in his career, which is fine.
But
Still
he
a great
still
player.
runs like he's
Still
still
has
got
lots
the
of
motor.
qualities. Yep, 100%.
So I do think at the 8 next to Kova, not playing a really physically commanding team, I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, you shouldn't be asking him to go up against Udogi or Udogi. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Udogi? Defensively,
It's Udogi.
Udogi.
Udogi. Yeah, Udogi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's not the matchup you want to have. I think if anything, you want to have like Savio, or if Doku was healthy, Doku there would be.
Oh, you're saying you don't want Bernardo going up against
No, I don't.
I thought you meant anyone.
Udogi
I was like, I have total confidence in Doku and Savio.
Don't worry about it.
No.
I
just
know
don't
Nick
want.
doesn't like my take, but I don't think their fullbacks can defend that well. So
Poro's
it's just recovery speed.
Poro's the better defender of the two, which says a ton.
He's a better player overall. He's just a better version of Udogi, I think. But
I think Udogi's quicker.
Yeah,
he is
Poro's got a little more strength to him.
Poro's got everything else on him.
I think
he's definitely
other
more
than the
quality.
left foot.
I don't know. Doku and Savio need to show out, though. No,
Is
Doku will not be showing out. Nope, he's hurt. I forgot.
He's hurt.
I forgot.
Yeah,
he recovered
that's what I was saying.
and then got hurt. So Savio.
Foden left wing stash.
That's tough.
Yep. That's what's gonna happen.
I strictly want to do a combined 11 with who we think is going to play, right? Not in the injuries, just because I want to see the Frankenstein monster that this is.
Okay.
All right, let's speed run. Ederson.
Ederson. Then
right back.
Right
Poro. No,
back.
do right back. Do 4 back.
Yeah,
it's
right
Poro.
Poro. Ruben Diaz.
Yeah.
Who else is fit?
If Romero's,
you can't.
I think Romero's going to play.
Oh, okay. Then Romero.
I think Romero's going to play.
Romero Diaz.
Left back Guardiola next.
Yeah.
Yep. Midfield.
Kova.
Not Bentancur. Yeah, it's Kova. I don't want any of their sixes right now.
Kova, Sar, Kulishevsky.
Yeah, I don't think you can put KD. And he hasn't played it at all.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I think so. I actually really think Sar has been one of the keys to their season, not falling off the wheels.
I don't think they're better than KDB, and in a normal combined 11, KDB's totally going in there, but obviously. I think it's to be fair to them, since KDB hasn't really
that was the midfield I had in mind. Kova and Sar and Kulusevski.
And then Son, Holland, Savio.
I guess out of choice.
Oh, Brennan Johnson.
I'm not taking Brennan Johnson over Savio.
It does have to be Brennan Johnson, and I'd rather have Savio on my team than Brennan Johnson. Bro, look at that.
We should just change this to a 4-1-2-1-2.
If you watch Savio,
just change it to
there's no argument. There's no
change
argument.
It to that? No, I understand. Savio is a good player.
Brennan Johnson is being bullied into scoring. Once they stop bullying him, he'll stop.
I like this solution.
I feel bad leaving Solanke out. I'd rather just run two strikers.
How many goals does the guy have?
Okay, then let's
just
has
4 goals.
Okay. Let's count
as a striker. Like if we have to talk about goals, it needs to be at the striker position. Holland has 8 more.
Let's put
Son at striker.
Has 1 less.
Let's put Son at striker with Holland. 4-1-2-1-2. KDB then gets to come in, or Foden, whoever. I'd much rather put one of those two than put Savio or Brennan Johnson.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, Dylan, I guess.
Well played. So what are we saying?
4-1-2-1-2.
No, I know.
4-1-2-1-2.
Son, KDB, Holland.
No,
Son, KDB,
he's the striker.
Yeah. Son, KDB, Holland.
Yeah.
Wait, he just took Solanke out. Oh, I got him.
Yeah.
Well, Solanke was never in.
Yeah, fair. Well, that was Dylan's first shot.
I was saying I'd rather put him in than the other two.
I like that, though. I like that. Yep, there it is.
Okay, so our combined 11 is Ederson, Poro, Diaz, and Romero with Gavardiol in the back. Midfield of Kulishevsky, Sar, and Kova. A cam of KDB, and the 2 strikers are Son and Holland. Right? Did I say that right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That team
Sun
kind
coming
of
off the left.
Wait,
Sun coming off the left.
give me the
Drifting out
the
wide.
rundown of
that team
though.
kind of fucks.
What is that? Is it 6'5"? What's the split?
Oh, I got you.
Ederson,
Gavardio,
Diaz, Gavardio,
Diaz,
Kova, KDB,
Kova.
Holland.
Yeah, 6'5".
6'5". Oh, God, we're good.
We're so sick.
I mean, we did it on current form and fitness, so I feel like that's valid.
I mean, if we're being completely honest, there's one or two guys from Spurs in a healthy 11 that get in, right?
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't have a problem if you made an argument for Son, and I wouldn't have a problem for Van de Ven.
Honestly, I wouldn't want Son. I wouldn't have the argument for Son.
I don't think Van de Ven.
Current,
I mean,
No.
I think you would drop Romero though. I don't think Van de Ven would take out a City player,
No.
you know?
Sorry. If we were
Yeah.
a
I'm just saying
healthy
the
11
current state of
too,
Son.
I kind of like that. If both teams were healthy, how would we line that up?
I still don't
as
put
a
a
last
Spurs center
play.
back in there.
Not
Dude,
over,
if
like Van
John
de
Stone's
Ven.
healthy, if John
Oh, yeah,
Stones is
John
healthy, he
Stones.
makes fucking Van de Ven look like a bomb.
Yeah, John.
But like if we were doing I guess that's not
Stones,
fair.
Diaz, Vardio, Ederson are all in there.
Well, Gavardio doesn't
Right back.
play
KDB,
in the center
Rodri.
back.
I personally
No,
rate,
left back.
No, he's a left back. He only plays left back for City.
No,
And
but the way you
personally-
just said it was 3 center backs. Without a
No,
right
he
back.
meant like in the...
I'm just leaving
no, I
out the
know.
right back.
He's
So,
sick.
like, it's
Porro
up
would
for
probably
debate.
be the right
I'd
back
Still Porro.
I still prefer.
Okay.
I prefer Rico Lewis, but we'd probably put Porro.
I would put Porro.
Yeah, you can give them that. Rodri,
Rodri,
No,
KDB,
but this isn't
Foden.
a conversation. This isn't a
yeah,
conversation.
there's
Oh,
no
sorry, I meant
conversation.
healthy.
It's-
I meant healthy this year. Like Rodri's not playing. Like some guys that will play this year.
We're just
Sorry.
moving goalposts, aren't we?
So Rodri's not playing, so he's way out of my realm of conversation. Sorry,
me
I
with
totally
Kawhi
forgot that he's just not playing this year. He's just not a City player until next season. It's a new signing next
You heard it.
season.
That's what he said.
He said if everyone's fit, man.
I know. I totally forgot about Roger, to be honest with
Because
you.
the thing
Just 'cause
is
he's not
everyone's
playing.
fit. They have Son.
I'd still
And
put
Porro.
Kovacic.
They
So
put
fuck
yeah.
that.
They have
Yeah, I'd
Son
still
and
put
Yeah,
Kovacic over
'cause-
Basuma or Bentancur.
I mean,
I'd rather have
I mean,
Kovacic.
I'm curious because I want to
I
know
don't
if you
put
guys
Kulu
would.
over Foden or KDB
No. But
Love
would you
Kulu
put
if they're
over
fit.
you put in Son over Doku or whoever's playing the left wing?
Yeah. Son makes it. In.
Okay. I'm this. I feel the
Kulu
same
maybe
way.
can get in on the right, bro, but he doesn't play there anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, he's a
No,
midfielder.
he's better in the midfield.
Actually, if everyone's fit, I'm putting fucking Oscar Bob on the right hand side, so it don't even matter.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, there you go.
touche.
Yeah, but not
There
many.
we go.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 to 3. It's 3 max.
We get
Okay.
9 to 11 out of
3
the
max.
11.
3
Yeah.
max get it.
We get.
Okay,
yeah.
I was just curious. I totally
No,
forgot
I
about
think it was
Roger. That's
fine,
pretty
but I
sad.
just-
no
I think
more
there's no
curiosity now,
argument.
motherfucker. We figured it out.
Cool. That works for me. This was a good chat. A little different.
Yeah,
I
fun.
did. Fuck international break. I'm so happy it's over.
Thank God.
Yeah, you didn't watch
Yeah.
Hungary Germany?
Dude, no, I didn't.
I didn't watch it either.
I did watch the USA fucking punk those Jamaican punks.
Whoa,
US
whoa.
Hold on. I'm doing this really slowly so I don't knock anything over.
You- that looked like
Well,
if you did the Running Man and just did it at 0.25 speed.
That's what it looks like for
That's what-
for Mr. Trump too.
There you go.
Pulisic, top 10 winger in the world right now. By the way, just
That's
putting
our
that out
last
there.
thing. That's why.
That's what we're fucking ending on. That's what we're fucking ending on, baby. Yeah. Alrighty, y'all good to end it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Alright. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Clash of Clubs, episode 14, and we will see you guys in the next one.
2 words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal! Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent! Potentially life-changing! That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.